Okay, so first we had Trump coin, and now we have another political coin. And this one was undoubtedly the biggest story of the week. Argentinian President Javier Milei was kind of following in Trump's footsteps, and he promoted a Solana meme coin called Libra. And this one went gangbusters. He has 3.8 million followers on Twitter. And this coin really quickly pumped up to, I think it was a $4.5 billion market cap, and then crashed down 96% in just a few hours. He deleted his initial post a few hours later, and he has since distanced himself from the project, though I feel that any moment he has apparently said he's going to come out and talk a little bit further about this. But he may even face some kind of impeachment, apparently. But this one, just wow, guys. Do you know much about this, Craig? Can you talk us through a bit more about what happened?
There's a lot going on here, and I think it's important to note that Javier Milei is doing really well, actually, in the Argentinian political world. He's very much seen as a Trump 2.0 over there and has a lot of super fans, especially in America and stuff. So his promotion of the meme coin did fire up a lot of the crypto natives. And to be honest, I slept through the whole thing. But to be honest, if I saw him post this, I probably would have bought if I was awake.
Really?
Yeah, I probably would have because I miss Trump. I probably would have. But regardless of that, there was so when you launch a new meme coin on, Radium or Meteor, you can see all the insider activity. So what happened post launch, it was obvious with the chain analysis that insiders were cashing out straight away, making hundreds of millions of dollars in the first 90 minutes, which led to the token pumping all the FOMO from the retail coming into the coin and then them dumping down at 96%. So this is, totally transparent financial crimes taking place in crypto. Blake, we spoke about meme coins last week. We've got a president this week. What do you think about this story?
I just really hate to see this as a trend, to be honest. So many tier two politicians are going to come out and now try to rinse the crypto community by launching a meme coin. They're getting buy-in, people are speculating, but they're making tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. And it's, yeah, not great to see. I don't think this is a great use of everyone's time.
And in saying that, Blake, Tracy mentioned he's dissing himself now, but at the start he was quite combative. Yeah, he actually doubled down on this, Trace. He said he didn't promote it, he just shared it.
Libra was actually launched with the promise of boosting the Argentinian economy. So that's, I can see why he was wanting to get involved in the first place and why a lot of people did jump on this. But it is a little bit concerning, Craig, that you said you would have jumped in, because we all know the red flags and we've spoken about them many times on this podcast, and we've spoken about them as a group, which is simple things like bubble maps. And if you looked at the bubble map for this project, it was a disaster, an absolute disaster. So as we've said in the past, a bubble map will let you know who holds a major percentage of the coin. And hopefully if you look at a bubble map, it'll show that the bubbles are everywhere, they're not connected, and it's a fair launch, where this one showed the bubbles all interconnected and one big bag holding most of it, which was not what you want to see. And unfortunately, that's exactly what played out.
And you know what the really interesting thing about this story in particular and the difference with Trump is, if you remember when Trump launched his meme coin, it was 2 days before he was actually president. Whereas now Javier is the president, and now there's going to be questions around impeachment. I even think the Argentinian stock market had a little correction today of around 4%. So like huge economic impact if he actually gets impeached, because it does feel like a crime.
But there's been the flow-on effects too on who actually made this token, the insiders that were involved here, because it's sprawling far and wide, and the team may have been part of the Millennia team. What's happening there, Craig? Because it's all rolling out today.
Yeah, so there's a huge story going on. This guy in the crypto space called CoffeeZilla, he's actually not just in crypto, he uncovers scams. He uncovered Logan Paul's old NFT scam, he uncovered FTX, and he actually did an hour podcast with one of the whistleblowers that was involved in this project. And he said that, yeah, it's a dirty little secret in the meme coin community that there was insiders that picked up on the early launches. He was involved in Melania. They're sitting on around 100 million of realized gains from rugging the project in the first 90 minutes. And this also coincided with the fact that he was kind of dobbing on the Jupiter and Meteora having insiders on their teams as well. So the Meteora co-founder actually resigned today.
Wow.
And so this is a big contagion effect on the Solana ecosystem. People are saying, Solana, it might be the best casino in crypto, but every single table that we're gambling at is turned out to be totally corrupt where all the insiders win. So this could be bad for Solana in the short term, I think, particularly with where the market is right now.
So was Milei, do you think, was he just advised poorly, or do you think he knew exactly what was happening?
I think if you're the president and you have 3 million followers and you're in office, I think it doesn't really matter if you're advised poorly. I think you need to have some degree of capability and accountability to know what's right and wrong. And I think the backlash of this could be really bad.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. And we're just seeing so much infestation now in this space, in this meme coin space. If it's not insiders rugging retail investors, it's the developers rugging their own teams, CEOs and founders of these projects rugging everyone else, even insiders at the exchanges and the market makers and the tech providers, the marketing companies. They're all getting in early. Everyone's just wanting to make a quick
Like
buck.
you've said before, Blake, everyone else is exit liquidity by the time that they're seeing this out there on Solana and getting involved.
As soon as you see one of these coins on social media, it means your exit liquidity.
And you know what? I think the best case from this scenario is the return of utility tokens, projects that have been building for the last 7 years, building real world DeFi applications to get some love again.
This isn't great for Solana. Solana's sitting at $167 right now. It's taken a real hit over the last 24 hours. And you know what? It's going to keep coming because unfortunately, there's a whole lot of token unlocks happening for Solana in the next 2 months.
Yeah, so we'll just take through what an unlock is. We have explained this on the show previously, but projects will have their tokens vested or means locked up, kind of like in a term deposit, and then they get incrementally released. And then the teams that are running projects are able to sell their tokens to fund the operations and the growth of their platforms. Now, this is a dilutionary effect, and it means that there's going to be sell pressure, and as a result, I think we could see compounding effects here on the Solana network.
We've also seen this is a big Solana week actually. We've also seen as well, it's happening today, 18th of February US time. The FTX repayments are actually being released back to those exchange holders yet, which we mentioned last week. So a few things, and people are arguing that that's potentially bullish because it's, quote unquote new money entering the space. Other people think it's bearish because people might just sell straight away. They're getting cash, which, yeah.
Going back to that unlock, there's 15 million Solana tokens unlocked. That's $7 billion worth over the next 3 months. So I feel that there is a pullback coming.
Yeah. So I think next week on the show, we'll have to go through how all of this has impacted Solana because, 3 big things happening for them.